Block content. What's happening, my Block buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Block Content. My name is Callum. This is going to be your content for today. So we talked a little bit about some character stuff for Super Smash Bros. For Switch. We don't know what it's going to be called. We don't know if it's going to have a subtitle much like Melee or Brawl had, but we haven't really gone into game modes and stuff like that. Our previous video was about, if Smash Bros. For Switch might have a totally new game style, like it might not even be 2.5D anymore, it might be a 3D sort of action game. And that's really intriguing, but also kind of irrelevant to what I want to discuss today, because I am talking about some adventure mode today. One of my favorite things in the entire Super Smash Bros. Franchise is the fact that it's just not a classic mode kind of game where you battle to endless amounts of the characters that you know from the roster and, it's randomized and you just beat the hands and it's over. No. What I loved about Super Smash Bros. Melee was the fact that it had this adventure mode that it introduced. It kind of laid the groundwork for something that made the Smash universe so much bigger than it had any right to be, and I loved it. It was playing Smash Bros. 64 on the N64 for years, and having these battles and having these stories in your head of, hey, what could be going on, and who could be the villain in this story, and who would be a hero in a Smash story, and why are they all together, and what's this toy box about, and what's this Master Hand, and you all had to kind of fill it in your head, which kind of worked for first in the series. I mean, as a kid, you always kind of play with your toys, but you piece things together yourself. You make your own story. But a story, that is just what got introduced a little bit later. But we had a little bit more to work with in Super Smash Bros. Melee because they gave us Adventure Mode, which was sort of this very cool short mode that started out with a bunch of platforming levels. They went through Hyrule, we went underground, and we even got through the Mushroom Kingdom, Mute City, and stuff like that. And it always kind of felt like in that game mode, they didn't really have that much time to finish it. Like, it starts out with 3 really great levels, and then it's just, fights a little bit. So it feels like they didn't have the time to complete, a full vision of what they wanted to do. Like, maybe they wanted to fill Kirby stage, maybe they wanted to do something with the Yoshi, story kind of elements and story. I really do believe that Melee's adventure mode was an unfinished thing. But it didn't matter for a lot of people because it was cool. It had a great replayability because, going through it with every character unlocked something, and there was always something hidden inside of adventure mode. It was just cool to see, hey, I just got through adventure mode on very hard. That always felt really good. And of course, there was an awesome boss battle waiting in the form of Giga Bowser, which was incredible, and every Smash fan freaked out when that moment happened, of course. And then they kind of evolved that entire process through Super Smash Bros. Brawl, right? I mean, this was the thing that Super Smash Bros. Fans were waiting for. I might even say since the first Smash Bros. I mean, since the idea of mixing up characters like Super Mario and Link from The Legend of Zelda, right? So the best way possible, they teased this and they showed it to us on the Smash Bros. Dojo, smashbros.com, on the website with these tiny teases, seeing Mario and Kirby shake hands, seeing this, the halberd from Meta Knight in the sky and dropping these enemies, and it was this big sort of scary update. They even, made the update darker. The background was, black and the text was white. I loved everything about it, and then the more we got to hear about it, it has co-op, it has different characters that you can play as. You'll go through the entire roster, they'll meet each other, there are cutscenes all throughout the thing. And then when it launched, people were a little bit disappointed by how linear it was and how repetitive it was. But, thinking back to that game mode and having played a little bit of it, there are some weird design choices, right? Random items laying around, and some enemies having the weirdest designs, and some stages being really repetitive and weird, but, you know, in the core, it was really, really cool, and those cutscenes were amazing. You know, we've never seen anything like that, and a lot of people held that to a standard when they were like, well, this adventure mode was really, really crazy. Too bad they didn't have all that much time to complete it with Sonic and stuff like that. It felt kind of tacked on at the end. But still, it felt like a whole, like a perfect little tiny experience. And when Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS were announced, well, we all thought the same thing. That's gonna get sequeled, you know? And there were a lot of people that were saying, you know, well, Smash Bros. Adventure Mode, the Subspace Emissary, took so much time to develop. I don't think that they'll do the same thing for Wii U. I think they'll focus on the same thing. And I think that's what Sakurai even said, you know, when talking about the game before it launched. He was like, well, playing Subspace Emissary, people leaked all the footage online, and there was no point in playing that mode. So we just decided to make all those cool cutscene movies from character announcements and make them available online, you know, at the moment they get announced. Well, a lot of people had a problem with Sakurai talking like that, and me included. They were like, well, the adventure mode wasn't really about the cutscenes. It was about, you know, the entire experience. And of course, the cutscenes are awesome, and there will always be a type of person that will look them up online, but you can't look up an experience online. You know, you can't look up how you play through those levels and get those cutscenes. And even so, this is the digital world. I mean, these things are going to happen, and you as a performer or as a creator, you know, have to kind of balance stuff like that. I can't just be a filmmaker and then decide, well, let's just not make this film because people will leak this online. I mean, imagine how much great art will get lost if people think that way, if they're this protective and this scared of the digital world. So that's my take on the entire Sakurai and adventure mode cutscene stuff. But that makes me wonder, we have seen this cutscene for Super Smash Bros. For Switch now, right? And it looks good. I mean, it looks crazy good. The sound design is actually really good if you watch the trailer with headphones. I mean, they do some really cool stuff with the ink splats and stuff like that, and even the sounds of the Smash logo appearing and, you know, all the lead up to it. I thought it was amazing. And even seeing Mario and Link and the music there, and we are going to have an update about that music very, very soon. But seeing that there, I mean, that was great presentation, but it also felt a lot like Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, right? Like a cool trailer that will hit online, and it's not connected to any story mode kind of stuff, and we're not really going to bother with any of that. We're just going to make these cool videos that announce characters, and the extra modes will just be, you know, fun sort of side missions. There won't be an adventure mode. Well, I think that there is a possibility for an adventure mode. What I think that Nintendo might be doing with Super Smash Bros. For Switch is actually doubling down on an adventure mode for this game. They know that people missed it in Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. They know that it was really well received after the fact and, you know, in the lead up to it, so they know where the problems were laying. They could definitely learn from that. And seeing the Fire Smash logo in the background and all those characters kind of makes me think maybe we'll have a story mode that kind of centers around something like a sort of Super Smash Bros. Dimension kind of stuff, where characters get pulled into this kind of dark dimension to, you know, ultimately brawl for the amusement of the hands. Yeah, you know, Master Hand and Crazy Hand. That could definitely be a really interesting way to do a story that's different to the Subspace Emissary. I don't think we'll get Subspace Emissary 2. I don't think that we'll get anything that's even close to that in terms of storytelling. But it might be very interesting to see something like a Smash Dimension kind of story. Maybe we'll have to go into that in a little bit more detail. I think that'll be very interesting to think about, you know, possibilities. What could a story mode now be when they learn of Subspace Emissary? Will the characters still know the characters that they met, or is everything reset because they're toys? And what could they possibly be doing with a story mode? Well, I hope that at the very least, there's, you know, an adventure mode. That would be really awesome. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think of the story mode. You know, if you comment down below, your comment could be featured in our next video. I'll read it. Today's comment question is, of course, what do you think adventure mode will be for Super Smash Bros. For Switch? As for the previous comment question, our answer comes to us by way of Levi Smith saying, here's the solution. You make a portion of Smash 5 3D. Add a story mode similar to Subspace Emissary, and any portion of it that is not a fight, make it 3D. When a fight is initiated, show a cutscene and transition into a two-dimensional playing field. That way, there is still an opportunity to play as these characters in an open 3D environment, but also continue fighting in the familiar 2D tone. Well, Levi Smith, thank you for that great comment. I agree, actually. I think that would be really fun. I think it kind of would feel like Yoshi's Woolly World in the sense that you have a map that is kind of like a 3D environment and then the stages are 2.5D. I would actually love that. And, you know, seeing these characters in a 3D environment wouldn't take all the work in the world, right? I mean, you already have them as 3D models. They're not, you know, they're optimized to look best at a 2D angle, but they are fully fledged 3D awesome models. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Keep sending in your comments because they're a ton of fun to do and I read all of them. And there's of course this awesome giveaway as well. You can win this blocked content t-shirt that is branded with a new Super Smash Bros. For Switch style. So if you want to represent us, let me know. And if you let it know in the comments down below why you will deserve this shirt, well, you know, let us know. And when we hit 6K subscribers, we're giving it away big time. So yes, here's something really cool. We're of course also on Patreon. If you support us there, there's also a lot of cool stuff that you can be having, you know, become a part of the show. Rewards like getting episodes early, getting videos commissioned, like you make it up, we make it for you, and even personal Skype calls and exclusive content you won't get anywhere else. And remember, if you're not yet a member of the Block Content family, it's easy as just clicking that amazing red subscribe button. All that news and fun that you care about will be delivered daily to you. So hit that bell for the notification so you won't miss any of the Smash news through all of the internet. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner where there's always more Super Smash Bros. For Switch and blocked content. See ya.